Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Take a look at this document filed in a Florida courtroom. It could give the one-time drug dealer known as White Boy Rick his first taste of freedom in 30 years.
Morning showers and storms kind of fell apart, but now we've got another line poised to move through just in time for the evening commute.
But first, here at 5, the hunt is on for this man. Southfield police say he broke into a house in broad daylight, robbed the place, and started attacking the couple living inside.
Thanks for being with us for the news at 5. This all happened back on July 29th, but police are just now releasing that sketch in hopes of getting whoever did it behind bars.
Let's bring in Jason Colthorpe, who is live in Southfield. Jason.
Well, guys, this couple's neighbors are ready to help out and track this guy down. It's already been a priority for this neighborhood, as you can see, but an attack on an older couple in their own home, a couple that's lived here for years, has gotten them to ramp up the neighborhood watch. A husband and wife enjoying a Saturday afternoon, a 67-year-old man napping on the couch and his 74-year-old wife playing a game on her Kindle. Then, suddenly, their dead-bolted front door came busting open. The young man in this sketch charged in and immediately started punching the man. And when his wife tried to call 911, he hit her with the phone before finally running out the back door.
Come in and break the door down. That's what I don't get.
It has neighbors now on high alert. Even the four-legged ones to try and find this guy.
Puts my peepers up because we don't have that kind of stuff around here. This is, like I said, we lived here 20 years and we don't have stuff like that happen around here.
Just wait on them to come to your house because they're going to be in trouble. They step to my house or anybody's house around me, period, because I got a family here, you know.
And when it comes to attacking an older couple,
man, they got a place for them.
To have somebody come and kick the front door in on this old couple, I mean, they are a harmless old couple.
Doing crime, anytime you get to a woman, children, and old people, you shouldn't get no break at all.
and this is a nice couple. I did speak with them at length today. They're still very shaken up by all of this. The gentleman has bruises all up and down his arms and his face and his neck, pretty banged up. And his wife, as they told me about what happened, in her words said, "I know the Lord was with us because we're still here." It was a pretty frightening experience. Devin?
Well, Jason, any idea why that house in particular?
They don't know, but in talking to them, the man said he thought the difference was, because this was broad daylight, 1:15 in the afternoon, he said everybody else's doors were open, people were around. He goes, but ours was shut. He thinks maybe it was a crime of opportunity, thought nobody was home, busted in the door, and they were home.
Yeah, sure were. All right, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay, now to the weather and the threat of rain heading into tonight. Clear right now from our Windsor sky cam, but other parts of town already getting a little wet.
Yep, temperature's cooler though, making it really kind of pleasant today.
It is, yeah, not bad. Let's get over to Ben. How long are these showers going to stick around when they do get here for folks?
Well, they're sort of moseying on their way down here, Kim, so it looks like it may be a while for some of us before we see that. Good news is that a lot of us could get through the commute without seeing a drop. Right now, those storms are just north of 69, and they're moving to the northeast, or southeast, I should say, at about 20 miles an hour. So at that rate, it's still going to be probably closer to 6 o'clock before these things start to get to the northwest corner of Livingston County. Already getting a couple sprinkles here in the northern parts of Genesee County, and then also here around Sandusky and Sanilac County. Showers earlier today have started to fade, just a couple drops left towards the lake shore. Otherwise, we will see a few of those thunder showers this evening. They will be fading as we head past sunset. Temperatures 60s by midnight, but man, is it going to be cool tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at that in your 4-zone forecast coming up.
All right, Ben. Washtenaw County Sheriff's investigators are working to learn the facts behind a double shooting in Superior Township early this morning. Deputies got a call about a shooting on MacArthur Boulevard in Superior Township, and they found two Ypsilanti Township men, a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old with minor gunshot wounds. Deputies say the two were shot as they were running away from a fight in which two other people were shooting. The victims, however, are reportedly not cooperating with investigators.
Well, tonight, the Local 4 defenders following two new developments in the White Boy Rick case, one of them here in Michigan, the other in Florida. But first, an extradition hearing is on deck pending his upcoming release from prison here in Michigan. Let's get to defender Kevin Dietz. Kevin, a lot going on here.
Yeah, everything's starting to move very quickly. In Michigan, there's going to be a hearing to see if Florida has the right to take Werschy. And in Florida, there's going to be a request made for Werschy to turn himself in so that he can have a couple days of freedom with his family. Rick Werschy is a man in limbo, with courts ready to take action in Florida and Michigan. First up, an extradition hearing in Michigan. Florida must prove it has the right to transport Werschy from his Michigan prison to a Florida prison for his role in a car theft ring while behind bars. Local 4 legal expert Neil Rockine says because Werschy is expected to waive his right to extradition and willfully go to Florida, it should be a quick hearing with little drama.
The hearing itself will take place in front of a judge. It will be extremely brief. The judge will get presented some documents that show that Florida wants him and that Michigan and Florida are both part of this compact, and that Rick Werschy is who they say he is.
And today in Martin County, Florida, this popped up, a notice by attorney Wayne Richter that he will represent Werschy on a request for a furlough hearing, which would ask Florida to save the time and cost of coming to Michigan to pick up Werschy and allow him to turn himself in, giving Werschy a small amount of time to visit with family before being admitted into the Florida Department of Corrections.
We're going to try to make a plea that Florida does not have to. It is not obligated to spend the money and go get him.
Werschy is hoping to convince Florida to forgive his entire sentence in Florida, arguing his 29 years behind bars for a juvenile drug offense in Michigan is more than enough time for both of his offenses. But that fight will only come after an extradition hearing here in Michigan.
I just want to get down there and get it over with. If I have to go, I have to go. I mean, I'm not going to, avoid it. I just want to get started.
A date for that extradition hearing has not been set, but it will happen very soon because right now Michigan is paying all the bills for Werschy's incarceration. And after that hearing, Florida taxpayers will pick up the tab. And Michigan is done with Rick Werschy. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
So, Kevin, if Werschy were allowed to turn himself in, that would be his first taste of freedom in almost 3 decades. How long will they give him?
It would not be long. It'd probably be at least a couple of days, but not more than a week. In that situation, he would either have to fly down or drive himself down to Florida and turn himself in, but that's what he's hoping for.
Yeah. Okay. Keep us posted, Kevin. Thank you. In Rochester Hills now, the manhunt is over for a hit-and-run driver.
Yeah, Oakland County deputies say they have found the person responsible for killing 22-year-old Christopher Morgan. Morgan was found Sunday at Adams and Avon Roads after receiving a tip. Deputies found the person they believe is responsible at an Orion Township Red Roof Inn. The owner of the car stated she believed she had hit a deer. She is not in custody at this time, and the incident is still under investigation. A 19-year-old who fired at officers in Detroit will now be sentenced later this month.
Jawan Plummer pleaded guilty today to several charges in connection with the shooting of 2 Detroit police officers on the city's west side. Plummer thought the officers who were approaching the home were burglars. Plummer opened fire, hitting both officers, one in the face. That officer is still recovering. Charges could come as early as tomorrow for an East Point man accused of killing a teen at a Roseville graduation party. The 20-year-old was arrested yesterday in connection to 18-year-old Luke Filre's death. Filre was attending his cousin's graduation party at a home on Callahan Street near 12 Mile in Hayes when he was killed early Sunday morning. Roseville police say at one point about 4 people were asked to leave the party. A while later, the group came back and one person opened fire, hitting Filre.
Tensions with North Korea just don't seem to be letting up. Today, North Korea angrily lashed out with strong words for the U.S. after the United Nations voted to impose harsh sanctions. All this following a series of North Korean missile tests. Blaine Alexander has more from Washington. Blaine?
Well, Devin, for President Trump, these sanctions now put actions behind his tough words and unite 3 very unlikely forces. All of this positive news for the president as he marks his 200th day in office.
In a rare show of unity, the U.S., Russia, and China on the same page, coming down hard on North Korea, but offering one way out.
The best signal that North Korea could give us that they're prepared to talk would be to stop these missile launches.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson speaking on the heels
2017
of a unanimous vote by the UN Security Council, imposing more than $1 billion worth of sanctions on North Korea.
This is the most stringent set of sanctions on any country in a generation.
Those sanctions a response to tests of North Korean missiles capable of reaching U.S. cities. Tillerson seemingly changing U.S. strategy, not demanding North Korea end its nuclear program.
He's actually saying our only precondition is that you stop with the tests.
North Korea angrily warning of thousands-fold revenge against the U.S. in what may be the rogue nation's best offer of pulling back from the brink.
UN Security Council resolutions don't solve military problems, but they're a good step in the right direction.
A foreign policy win for President Trump, forcing North Korea to decide if it really wants to challenge three superpowers.
And today, President Trump held an hour-long phone call with his Secretary of State and his Chief of Staff, discussing North Korea during what the White House calls a working vacation. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, things just getting started here at 5.
Yeah, we have much more ahead coming up in the next hour, including Foxconn planning to set up shop here in Michigan, but they are not going to be building iPhones. We'll talk about that. And they got no warning. A devastating tornado hits Tulsa, Oklahoma. So why didn't the sirens go off? Steve?
They are big, ugly, and nasty, threatening our Great Lakes. Asian carp are knocking at the gate. Today, we learn details of a new plan to keep them out.
Tonight, new at 6.
20 years in the Army, not a scratch on him until a strange woman came busting through his door.
I was bleeding so bad, and he was hollering, I'm dying, I can't breathe, and I was more concerned about him than anything.
We'll tell you exactly what happened to this man and his 18-year-old son that left them both hospitalized.
All right, Jason, also trying to make up for the deadly crimes of Dr. Fareed Fada. What's being done to compensate the victims and families of the victims? Coming up at 6.
Asian carp are considered one of the most dangerous threats to the Great Lakes, and they are dangerously close to getting in.
But a new plan released today has some pretty wild plans to keep these pretty wild fish out, including noisemakers and water jets and the like. Steve Garagiola joins us live. Steve, none of this comes cheap, though.
Well, no, there's a price for everything, isn't it? It's a study from the Army Corps of Engineers. It was supposed to be released back in February, but it was held up by the White House. Critics believe that was an influence of lobbyists from the shipping industry. But that study is out today, and it says much more needs to be done to protect the Great Lakes. Asian carp were introduced to the United States in the 1970s to control algae at catfish farms in the South. A massive flood in the early 90s allowed the carp to infest the Mississippi River Basin, and they continue to migrate north, threatening the Great Lakes.
We refer to it as an imminent threat because of their location and proximity and the fact that the current technologies in use have some failings.
The Asian carp disrupt the food chain. They push out native fish. They're dangerous to boaters. These are big, bad bullies who take over wherever they move and could devastate Michigan's fishing and tourism industry.
But people don't like to boat when they know that they're going to be hit in the head by a 50-pound projectile. It's dangerous to small children. It's dangerous to big people.
An electric fence provides a barrier to Lake Michigan in a waterway near Chicago. But in June, an adult Asian carp was found north of the barrier just 9 miles from the lake. The study calls for $275 million in upgrades to the barrier, including sound systems to create complex noise underwater, additional electric barriers downstream, water jets to wash away small or stunned fish. And Michigan is looking for creative ideas to prevent Asian carp from entering the Great Lakes. The Invasion Carp Challenge is now accepting proposals.
What we're in the search for is some innovative techniques or tools that can be highly effective at preventing fish from moving into the Great Lakes.
Yeah, they're looking for some out-of-the-box thinking. Now, if you're not sold on the environmental impact, maybe the economic impact. The Great Lakes states have a $7 billion fishing industry. Michigan has a $38 billion tourism industry. And if the Asian carp get into the Great Lakes, it could wipe it out. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
We should be used to that video, the jumping fish, by now, but it is just insane every time you see it. Now, Steve, I want to go back to this invasive carp challenge. It sounds like it's a kind of contest then.
Yeah, well, two things. First, in that video, that woman that got hit in the face,
Yeah.
she had a broken jaw. So that was pretty serious.
Wow, yeah.
And as far as the challenge, yes, it is a contest, actually. We've put a link at clickondetroit.com. Basically, it's a worldwide, it's opened up to submissions, written submissions. It's serious. The winner will ultimately get up to $700,000. So they're looking for some serious plans.
I like it, the wiki approach to the carp. All right, thanks, Steve. The month of August has brought a slight drop in the price of gas across the state.
AAA Michigan reports the statewide average price of gasoline is $2.41. That's down 7 cents from prices we were paying just 1 week ago, but it is still higher than the price of gasoline 1 year ago at this time.
Ben's turn now, and we have had so far a pretty comfortable day.
It's been pleasant.
But
not a lot to complain about.
No.
We do have some storms on the way.
Until you step in, everything was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta bring the negative stuff too. Let's show you what we had this morning. There was a line that tried to get its act together, and that kind of fell apart. Just about everybody except for the north zone missed out on those showers, and we're just a couple light sprinkles you see there moving across our north zone. Now we've got a line of showers and a few thunderstorms too, just a couple lightning strikes. Not anticipating anything severe. The big question is will these hold together as they move to the south? The northern edge of this is trying to weaken somewhat as it advances. And again, it is moving slow. It's only moving to the southeast at about 20 miles an hour. So it's going to be a while if they hold together before we start seeing any of those showers or storms. We're at 80 degrees right now at Metro. We do have a little bit of a wind out there. It's out of the west-northwest 12. That wind is going to subside tonight, and a lot of those clouds that are around are ahead of these thunderstorms. Those are going to clear out too, and that's going to allow temperatures to really drop as we get into the nighttime hours tonight, below normal for this time of year. Let's look at our rain chances for the next few days. We've got a couple of those showers and storms around this evening. They fade pretty quickly as we head towards sunset tonight, and that'll leave us with dry conditions and clearing skies overnight. A little tough to see on this view of the model, but there's possibility we could be seeing some patchy fog, at least in our north and maybe the northern sections of our west zone. Not going to last very long overnight and into tomorrow morning. And then we've got plenty of sunshine on tap for Tuesday. Wednesday, I think most of us are going to be dry. The model's pretty insistent about putting a couple sprinkles in here as we get into the late afternoon and evening. Again, it's an outside chance. Most of the forecast beyond what we have today is going to be dry, at least until we get into the weekend. Thursday looks pretty good too. Mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures not too bad, and humidity is really not going to be a problem for the next 7 days either. Let's look at lows tonight. Mid-50s at Detroit, and as we always say when we're looking at lows, these are going to be some of our warmest numbers here in our metro zone. South zone temperatures start to cool off out here in Lenawee County. 51 out in Morenci, Luna Pier, Monroe. You're going to be at 53 by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. West zone temperatures 40s start showing up here in Chelsea, Howell, maybe a couple spots there in southern Genesee County, and then warming to the mid-50s closer to I-275. North zone, you're going to see a few 40s there too, mainly inland here, Imlay City, North Branch, Emmett, Yale, upper 40s for lows, and then outside of that, we're looking at the 50s for low temperatures by tomorrow morning. Highs will hit 81 once we get into the afternoon. We'll call it mostly sunny, again with low humidity. And then on Wednesday, those temperatures inch up into the mid-80s. They will stay there as we head towards next week. In fact, really not going to see a whole lot of change in temperature over the next 7 days. Not going to be a problem with humidity, just kind of rolling into the dog days of summer here. And you get what you get.
Yep.
Which is A-okay.
We'll take it. All right, Ben, thank you. Coco?
At Wayne State University, kids are practicing their stringed instruments. They're preparing for a big moment on stage today. We'll tell you more about the Urban Strings.
Okay, Coco, but first, a British model's incredible escape. How a photo shoot almost cost her her life. That's next.
A British model who was kidnapped is now back in Britain, and we are learning more about what happened.
20-year-old Chloe Ayling was lured to a fake photo shoot in Milan when she was attacked, drugged, bound, and gagged, then thrown into the trunk of a car. According to Ayling, her abductors were a part of an organized gang, and they advertised her online, saying that they could deliver her anywhere for a price.
I've been through a terrifying experience. I feared for my life, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour. I am incredibly grateful to the Italian and the UK authorities for all they have done to secure my safe release.
Now, a 30-year-old Polish resident of Britain has been arrested in connection with the abduction, but police are still looking for more suspects.
Polling places in communities across Metro Detroit could be busy tomorrow. We'll see if they are as primary elections take place. Detroit voters are going to narrow the list of candidates for mayor, city clerk, and city council. Races and issues are also on ballots in many other communities around town. Polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. We want you to be prepared to vote in tomorrow's primary. We've interviewed every candidate for Detroit mayor, clerk, and council. You can check out their videos from each of them at clickondetroit.com. We've got the link on our homepage. Could the former Buick City manufacturing site be revitalized? According to reports, development officials are making a push for that to happen.
The Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce was awarded a grant of nearly $200,000 to help conceptualize building designs and develop construction costs. The grant also allows officials to identify services at the site that could be essential to potential suitors. The 390-acre site closed back in 1999.
New at 5:30.
The iconic two-steeple view you see of this Polish church while driving on I-75 is in danger of changing. I'll explain why those two steeples may have to come down.
Macomb County is starting a new initiative to protect the fresh water of Lake St. Clair. Nobody knew about drain problems for a good reason.
Never been inspected for over 50 years, almost 60 years.
That's bad, and that's going to change.
The state of Michigan has lots of land to offer businesses.
It never hurts to have new players coming into our economy.
But it also has some specialized engineering talent that may have attracted a very big manufacturing name. We'll take a look at what it all means.
A little higher.
You can call it a huge coup. Foxconn is planning to set up shop here in Michigan, and it may be closer to home than you think. You may not have heard of Foxconn before, but you definitely know the products they make.
In fact, the Chinese company responsible for building almost all the iPhones. As they've grown, so have their aspirations, which explains the potential move to Michigan. Business editor Rod Maloney joins us now from Romulus. But Rod, this is not about phones.
No, it is not about phones at all. It's about auto industry centric stuff like autonomous vehicles. Now, we're here in Romulus, but they started looking at a couple of sites in Lyon Township. But the township hasn't heard from them since last spring. But we are getting the word that they're paying a lot of attention to land just like this in Romulus, out here by the airport. Terry Gu, CEO of Foxconn, has been a very busy man lately. He spent time with President Trump and announced a 10,000-person television LED screen manufacturing facility in Wisconsin over the past couple of weeks. And now he's in talks with the state of Michigan for something based here. The South China Morning Post says it's for autonomous vehicle facilities. But no one at Foxconn nor the state of Michigan is giving specifics. But the possibilities are considerable. Navigant auto and clean energy industry analyst Sam Abulasamid says that Foxconn doesn't do small.
They're looking at setting up both development facilities here to develop something, to develop the hardware and validate it, and then presumably ultimately to manufacture at least some of that hardware, if not complete vehicles.
You won't find Taiwan-based Foxconn's name on anything. It just quietly and very profitably manufactures lots of high-tech items. And it likes to build where there's a strong supply base, which Michigan offers, along with engineering and manufacturing expertise. So coming here could tilt the tables towards Michigan in the battle with Silicon Valley in becoming the autonomous vehicle capital of the world.
It could be just a few dozen or a few hundred people working in an R&D facility here. If it gets to actual manufacturing, it could potentially be thousands or even tens of thousands of people, depending on the scale of what they end up doing.
Now, Governor Snyder is on his way home from China with, or just after these meetings. He'll be home probably tomorrow. But he is saying, and his office is saying, that nothing is set in stone, that it is likely that they're still negotiating all of this stuff and trying to figure out exactly what this is all going to look like. But rest assured, the second they know, we will too. Back to you.
Well, Rod, talk about the other things that makes Michigan so attractive to Foxconn or others.
Well, Sam was telling me this today. Think about this. In California, Silicon Valley, where all the guys do all the software, right? Well, they have great weather. Well, but if you're going to test a car, you have to be able to test for all kinds of weather. So who knew Michigan's crummy weather come February is actually a benefit this time around?
How about that? We don't say that a lot. All right, Rod. Karen?
Well, right now, a very important project is underway in Macomb County, and while it may be happening underground, it's aimed at helping keep Lake St. Clair clean. Let's get out to Steve Garagiola. He joins us now live. And Steve, they're worried about untreated sewage flowing into the lake without being treated here.
Yeah, absolutely. This project is about protecting the beautiful clear water of Lake St. Clair. For about 9 months now, Macomb County has been dealing with the sinkhole-associated drain problems. Well, this project is about inspections and finding problems before they cause a disaster. For now, this project is not about repairs. It's about inspection of storm drains. Because the last time these drain pipes were inspected would be when?
They have never been inspected. Never been inspected. For over 50 years, almost 60 years, no inspection.
Now that's a problem. One recent inspection found a connection from an apartment complex that for 3 decades dumped raw sewage into the freshwater drain.
In that case, with that apartment building, there was probably about 250,000 gallons a year for over 30 years, raw sewage right into Lake St. Clair.
One ever-present challenge is convincing people that inspection and prevention are worth the money spent. Bad roads are a much easier sell.
There, you run into a pothole, you see it, you feel it, you know you got to do it. You don't see these underground here, and we need to inspect it. And if we have to fix it, we're going to fix it. You can't just ignore it.
Out of sight, out of mind. And the commissioner says, boy, you just cannot do that. There are 3 big drains that are part of this project. And when I say big, I mean big. A diameter of 12 feet, which is pretty hard to imagine how big that is. They're going to close them down and do a walkthrough tour. They expect the inspections should be finished sometime in the fall. Back to you.
All right, Steve, so when we talk about changes like this, you always wonder about money. So are taxpayers going to have to foot this bill, and how much are we talking about?
Yeah, Karen, it's always about money in the end, isn't it? Well, the commissioner says the inspections will not cause any rate hikes at all. That's in the budget. However, should they find big problems that need to be taken care of, that's going to cost money, and that will eventually fall on the ratepayers.
All right. Thank you very much. Steve Garagiola reporting live for us tonight.
We now know the identity of a 36-year-old woman who died after being shot while confronting officers with a gun. The St. Clair County Sheriff's Office says Melissa Wiseman of Richmond died Friday night after a confrontation with Marine City Police and Border Patrol agents. Police in Marine City requested that the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department handle the investigation. The officer involved in the shooting is right now on administrative leave. That's as this investigation gets underway. 3 tornadoes barreled through Tulsa, Oklahoma, injuring more than 24 people.
And city officials say residents had no warning because they themselves didn't receive notice until it was too late. So we'll bring in Ben a little bit for some perspective on this and what happened.
Well, it's important to note that tornadoes, and you spent time in Oklahoma, tornadoes in August are incredibly rare in this part of the country. And so I think a lot of folks probably just weren't watching for them. But at least 30 people were injured by some flying debris, others by collapsed buildings, and more than 10,000 remain without power. The disaster did strike without warning, so much so that emergency officials did not have time to sound the warning sirens.
We weren't prepared to take cover or anything.
I'm in awe that we're alive. I thank the Lord, because this is just, I've never seen this in real person. You see it on the movies, you see it on the news, but in real life, it's really bad.
Well, the focus now shifts to rebuilding as Tulsa takes stock of the damage, and the 2 things that were working against folks there. First of all, it was 1 in the morning, and they really weren't expecting it. These were coming from a line of thunderstorms. Usually we see damaging winds when that type of thing happens, not the supercells that folks out there are used to seeing when there's tornadoes.
Yeah, but as you know, it's a part of the country that's as attuned and dialed in to these kind of things as they can be. So it is kind of a shock.
It's a surprise that they're caught by surprise.
Yeah,
that's true. Very much so.
All right, Ben. Well, tragedy meanwhile south of there on a Texas lake as 3 Boy Scouts die after their sailboat strikes a power line.
Members of the Hallsville Boy Scout troop were riding in a catamaran on Saturday when first responders say the boat came too close to a power line. Officials say voltage came in contact with the mast, electrocuting the scouts. One was thrown from the boat into the water. The other died while still on that boat. A 3rd boy died at the hospital today. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department is investigating. Google continues to grapple with that fallout after a male engineer slams their diversity efforts in a 3,300-word essay. The unidentified employee says women should not take tech jobs due to, quote, biological reasons. The writer also said diversity programs are merely political actions. The writing circulated inside Google for a while, but it went public over the weekend. Google's diversity vice president and engineering VP both condemned the document. Nearly 70% of Google's workforce is male.
There's no doubt you've seen these steeples if you drive into downtown Detroit, but right now there is a very big problem occurring at Sweetest Heart of Mary Church, and those steeples may not be there if something isn't done soon. Kim DiGiulio shows us what's going on and also how you can help.
This gorgeous church has stood the test of time. What you see right now is exactly what you would have seen 100 years ago. And on the outside, Sweetest Heart of Mary Church is an iconic part of the Detroit skyline. But soon, those two beautiful steeples could come down.
If you're driving down 75, it's just something that you notice, and it's a landmark that is important for everybody that it stays up.
That's the problem. They were built in 1892, and they're not going to last much longer.
The wood has rotted in places, and some of the connections, the nails and what's holding the steeple together has rotted and deteriorated to the point where it's coming apart from the inside.
There's three options at this point. Either take them down, repair the current ones, or rebuild completely new ones and replace them. The options range from $500,000 to $4 million.
Despite that high price tag, it's not the entire steeple that needs to be replaced. It's just the spire. That's the slated part above the brick bell tower. That's what's in danger of falling down.
There's no definite date that the steeples need to be replaced by. However, the church is trying to be proactive in fixing this problem before it's too late.
It may fall on the church, and it'll be the end. Or, God forbid, it may fall on the other side across the street, and the people are living in the apartments.
You can donate to a GoFundMe page to help pay for the repairs by visiting clickondetroit.com. Or come here this weekend. There's a pierogi festival going on here where you can come and eat some Polish food while donating to a fantastic cause. Reporting here in Detroit, I'm Kim DiGiulio, Local 4.
Those pierogies. I was going to say those steeples are so beautiful, but I have to admit I'm Polish. I love pierogies.
Had me
too.
at the pierogies.
They
Yeah,
did
well,
have
great time
pierogies.
for that as a fundraiser too, because you can't
Beautiful
even imagine that part of Detroit without those.
I know, you come in and you just see that, and it's so
iconic. Yep.
breathtaking.
A mother is claiming one of Disney's apps is doing more than just entertaining children.
New tonight, what she says the app is doing that could put children at risk. Coco.
The sounds of music fill the recital hall here at Wayne State University. This is Urban Strings. We'll tell you more about it and the woman who started all of this.
All right, Coco, but first, panic on board. Extreme turbulence hits an international flight. Wasn't just the drop that caused injuries. We'll explain next.
Next, Jeff. New at 6.
I'm sure you may have been to Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, buying gallons of paint for your project, but have you seen these brands before? No, you haven't. It's a brand new paint made right here in Michigan.
All right, Nick, also there's new research on the effect pets have on the health of children. Some may find it surprising. We'll have it for you at 6 o'clock.
Some scary moments for passengers and crew on board an American Airlines flight hit by severe turbulence. Take a look. This video was taken by a passenger on board the flight shortly after the plane shook and then dropped Saturday.
We sincerely apologize. Don't anticipate any more of that. I want to make sure, as always, to keep your seatbelt fastened. Thank you.
The flight was en route from Greece to Philadelphia when that turbulence happened. At the time of the trouble, drinks were being served. Hot coffee went flying, scalding some people. In a statement, American says 3 passengers and 7 crew members were taken to a hospital for evaluation. All 10 passengers have since been released.
When school budgets get tight, music class is often one of the first programs to get cut. There is one organization, though, in Detroit that is bridging that gap and aiming to do much more. Coco McAvoy shows us how Urban Strings is empowering the next generation of musicians.
Music can teach you a lot of things. The kids from the Urban Strings summer camp come ready to learn and are preparing for a big performance tonight.
There's so many levels of the value of music education here in the city and beyond.
Cecilia Sharp runs the show with passion and personality.
I wanted to run away from music. I don't think I could because my name is C Sharp. And the bad thing is I didn't even realize that was my name.
She started the 2-week summer camp a few years ago for kids. It's about
building those skills and those social skills, building character and overcoming some of the parts that aren't so strong.
And giving the kids like Zen Spencer Harris
some that outlet, especially when it's music that they hear on the radio opposed to classical music. Nothing wrong with classical music, but you know, like some kids, they need something they can relate to.
So they can learn more about themselves.
Learned a lot about confidence, but also about humility. It's important to understand that you're talented, but so is everyone else who you're playing with, and you have to know how to take criticism.
Not outside of the know, Lord.
Sharp makes sure everything sounds just right before the big show. Up to this point, you can tell the kids have been enjoying the experience the most. Now, it's the parents' turn. These kids leave camp knowing more than just how to play a stringed instrument. They find out more about themselves and that anything is possible if you're willing to learn.
It's sometimes just a matter of resources because our students here are talented, they're phenomenal, they can, they will, and they show people every time.
Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
Yeah, and although the summer camp is held once every summer, a few of the more advanced students stick around throughout the school year to play at various venues around town.